College students, medical students, this video is for you. The broke college student trying to stretch that $20 until Friday, or the medical student drowning in student loans wondering how you'll ever get ahead. Because here's the truth, the way you handle your money now, even when you feel like you barely have any, will determine if you graduate into freedom, choices, and wealth, or if you stay stuck on the same hamster wheel of debt that most stress about and most professionals never escape. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to take the little money you do have and use it to build a financial foundation that most of your peers won't figure out until their late 30s or 40s. Imagine walking into residency or your first job already investing, already confident with your money. That's the dream. And it starts today. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to stop drinking your coffee or never eat out. I'm going to show you how wealthy people actually think about money and how you can use the same hacks right now, even if you feel broke. Here's the number one thing that wealthy people understand that broke people don't. Money is just an equation. It's your income minus your expenses equals your opportunity. Wealthy people don't just track money, they mind the gap. So if you make $800 from tutoring or your hospital side gig and your expenses are $700, that's $100 left over. That's not just spending money, that's opportunity. It's the gap between what you earn and what you spend that creates wealth. Now, most broke students flip this equation. They say the income minus expenses equals nothing left. And then they wonder why they feel like they're always chasing money and feel broke. Think of it like medical school or college classes. If you always show up late, if you never study and expect to ace the exam, it doesn't work. Same with money. If you spend everything, there's no way for wealth to grow. But even a small gap that's protected consistently compounds into something huge over time. So while you might think that minding your expenses, aka budgeting, is basic, it's the foundation of your financial freedom. So let me introduce you to the broke student budget blueprint in 3 simple steps. Step 1 is know your numbers. Write down exactly how much you've got coming in each month. That's your side jobs, your scholarship refunds, your parental help, or even your loan money. And add it up. That's your baseline. Think of it like your vitals in medicine. If you don't know your baseline, your heart rate, your blood pressure, you can't diagnose a problem. Same with money. If you don't know your number, you're just guessing. Step 2 is plug the holes for 1 week. And 1 week only, track every single expense. I'm talking coffee, DoorDash, Uber rides, late night vending machines, everything. I had a friend in medical school who didn't realize that she was spending $8 a day on snacks and coffee between classes. Now that's $240 a month, almost $3,000 a year on coffee and chips. That's what I call the leaky faucet. One drip doesn't seem like much, but by the end of the month, you've wasted half of your water bill. Plug the leaks, and suddenly you've got money you didn't even know you had. Step 3 is the student budget formula. Here's the formula. 70% to needs, that's rent, grocery, books, gas, 20% to wants. So that's fun, Netflix, travel, and 10% to your future, either savings, early debt payments, and even, yes, investing. Even if it's tiny, start now. Because if you can manage $500, then you'll be ready to manage $50,000. But if you skip this step, you'll feel broke no matter what you make. Wealth doesn't start when you graduate. It starts with what you do with your next $20. And here's where it gets really exciting. Even as a broke student, you already have money coming in that could change your future. You just don't realize it yet. So let's talk about where your money should go. First, build a mini emergency fund. Even $500 to $1,000 in a high-yield savings account is enough to stop you from putting emergencies on a credit card. Research shows that nearly 57% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without debt, and you don't want to be part of that statistic. So you may be thinking that maybe you could just call a friend or family member for support. But as my recent college student niece told me, she's an adult now, and adults should save responsibly. Second, if you're making a little income, whether that's tutoring, working as a scribe, or your summer research stipend, you can open a Roth IRA. This is a student's secret weapon. Why? Because you contribute after-tax dollars so you don't owe taxes later. And the growth is tax-free. As a broke student with low income, you are in the lowest tax bracket you'll ever be in. For 2025, because of the passing of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act in July 2025, the standard deduction has just been raised to $15,750. And if you make this amount or less, you will pay 0 taxes on your earnings. And when invested in a Roth IRA account, you can pull out your contributions at any time. Although I don't recommend it, I want you to keep that money there and allow it to grow in your investments. And when you pull that money out, it will be tax-free at the time of retirement. But you can access any of your contributions and leave the growth there to continue to work for you. So imagine this. You put in just $1,000 in a Roth IRA at age 20. If it grows at 8% a year, by the time you're 60, that $1,000 is worth $24,000, all tax-free. Now, multiply that by doing it consistently during medical school or undergrad, and you're giving yourself a retirement gift that the future you will thank you for. Now, you might be thinking, but Brittany, I'm broke. How do I even find the money to invest? And that's where the hacks come in to create your cash flow. These are hacks wealthy people use all the time, and you can start using them as a broke college student right now. The first hack is to mind the gap. Always focus on widening the gap between what you earn and what you spend. This also applies to your student loans. Your student loans are an expense that you can eliminate today or pay back substantially more over time. So if you understand your income and your expenses, there may be an opportunity for you to give some of that money back so you don't borrow more than you need. Even $20 given back matters. This creates a wider gap for you today and in your future. Hack number 2 is automate your money. Set up automatic transfers to savings or your Roth IRA if you have earned income the moment you get paid. If you never see it, you won't spend it. Hack number 3 is to use the 24-hour rule. So before you go buying non-essentials like that hoodie or late night purchases, wait 24 hours. Most of the time, you'll realize that you don't actually need it. Next hack is to turn side gigs into assets. If you tutor, work a shift, or get a scholarship refund, don't just blow it. Channel a piece of that money into a Roth IRA or savings. That way your side gig money keeps working for you long after the gig is over. And one last hack for you is to learn to love free money and free food. Scholarships, grants, and even employer matches when you get your first job are literally free money. Wealthy people chase free money. Broke people ignore it. So don't be broke. As a college student, I applied to be a resident advisor in my first year so that I could cover 3 full years of room and board instead of 2. And as a medical student, I went to every free lunch and learn on campus. Sure, it was a sacrifice of time, but I ate and I learned something and I did not spend my money. So stop calling yourself broke and start calling yourself a student who is figuring it out. Remember, this isn't about restriction. It's about giving every dollar a job so you're the boss of your money instead of the other way around. Now, here's my challenge. I want you to think about what you've spent your money on in the last week. And I want you to drop in the comments the wildest thing that you have discovered. Was it Starbucks, Uber Eats, something that you don't need? Let's compare notes and see who has the wildest one. And make sure you subscribe because the next video we're talking about credit cards, your best friend or your worst enemy. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until then, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.